Which is riskier, investing in the stock market or keeping your money in a savings account? Before you answer, consider this. Risk comes in many different forms. While it may seem that investing in the market is the bigger gamble, stowing cash in a savings account or a safety deposit box may simply expose you to a different kind of risk. Today, you're going to learn about 3 common types of risk facing most investors. The first risk may be the most obvious: market risk. Market risk is sometimes confused with market volatility, which simply refers to the up and down movement in the value of investments. In a highly volatile market, investment values typically change frequently and unexpectedly, causing some investors to panic. However, high volatility does not necessarily mean high market risk. In most cases, participants in deferred comp accounts are investing for the long term and can therefore afford to ride out the storm. The key is to establish a sound investing strategy and then follow that strategy rather than making emotional decisions. Another risk to consider is inflation risk or purchasing power risk, which refers to the possibility that your money won't buy as much in the future as it does now. Since the 1930s, the average inflation rate in the U.S. has been about 4%, which means that to keep pace with inflation, an account would have needed to earn an average annual rate of return of 4% just to maintain the same purchasing power. To put it another way, what you used to be able to buy for $1 in 1991 costs about $2 now. When you consider that the average retirement lasts about 20 years, it's easy to see why putting your money in a savings account or investing too conservatively could potentially expose you to greater risk over time than a balanced portfolio of investments. Past performance cannot guarantee future results, but over the long term, investments in stocks and mutual funds of stocks have tended to outperform inflation. Longevity risk is the risk of outliving your resources or not having enough money to live on comfortably through retirement. Because retirees on average are living longer and healthier lives, it's important to consider how long you may need your money to last in retirement. Keep in mind that your pension and Social Security income are part of the fixed return portion of your complete retirement portfolio. To help stretch your income, you may want to consider keeping some of your deferred compensation money invested in a mix of funds that are designed to continue to grow your assets throughout your retirement years. While no investment is completely without risk, understanding the potential risks you face can help you make more informed decisions as you prepare for your financial future. For more information about this topic, please contact your Nationwide representative. Neither Nationwide nor any of its representatives gives legal or tax advice. Information provided by retirement specialists is for educational purposes only and is not intended as investment advice. There's no such thing as a universal investing strategy. Every investor is different, and so are all the ways you can invest. Experts suggest having various types of investments, not just one kind. That's because all investments go up and down in value over time, but not all at the same time. But how do you know where you should invest your assets? First, ask yourself how comfortable you are with market risk. And next, how long do you have until you will actually retire and start withdrawing money from your account? Knowing the answer to these 2 questions can help you determine what your asset allocation strategy is, and in turn, help you commit to a long-term investment discipline because your market risk can be minimized without having to miss out on potential returns. How many of you have been stuck in the snow or mud? Nothing sells a 4-wheel drive vehicle better than getting stuck. Because with 4-wheel drive, if one wheel slips, you have 3 more opportunities for traction. Asset allocation is like a car with 4-wheel drive. Without it, if something happens to a fund and all your money is invested in that one fund, then you're spinning your wheels. But if you spread your money out among different funds, you potentially lessen the risk of losing all your money. Remember, asset allocation can't guarantee returns or insulate you from potential losses, but it can help you manage risk and maybe keep you on the road to retirement. Asset allocation is just a fancy way of saying that the money in your plan account should be invested in different types of investments, since there can be unpredictability in the market. While asset allocation cannot guarantee returns or insulate against potential losses, it can help you manage risk. And that's why a smart investor uses an asset allocation strategy that matches their comfort with risk and the length of time until they retire. Each one of these investment types has a job to do, or purpose. The purpose of a stock is to grow. A bond's purpose is to produce income. And cash is meant not to fluctuate in value. You'll also hear cash investments be described as being liquid, which means it is more easily accessible. Each investment type also has risk associated with it. This chart illustrates potential risks and returns typically associated with each asset class. As you can see, generally, the more potential to earn money, the more chance there is to lose money within the same class. The most important thing to remember about asset allocation is that the mix makes the difference. Your money should be invested in different types of investments, not just one kind. Here's another way to think about asset allocation. Imagine that you're in an elevator during an earthquake. Which elevator would you rather be in? The elevator supported by a single cable, or the one with 4 cables? Imagine that the cables symbolize different types of investments. Then apply this same principle when you look at how your account is divided among different investments. All different kinds of investments have different kinds of risk. So just like the elevator with multiple cables, investing in a mix of stocks, bonds, and cash can help increase the chance of earning money, return, while decreasing the chance of losing money, risk. An investor who invests in just one type of investment, like the one-cable elevator or rear-wheel drive car, could be in trouble if something happened to that investment. Asset allocation can help balance risk versus return when it comes to investing in the market. For more information about this topic, please contact your Nationwide representative. Neither Nationwide nor any of its representatives give legal or tax advice. Information provided by retirement specialists is for educational purposes only and is not intended as investment advice. If it's been a year or more since you looked at how your money is invested, we need to talk. Because chances are your current asset allocation needs to be adjusted. The market tends to fluctuate over time. Because of that and other changes that may impact your finances, your investment mix could be out of balance with your investment strategy. That's why, at least once a year, you should make sure that your asset allocation still makes sense. Your Nationwide representative can review your long-term financial goals and then see if your current mix of investments is helping you get there. It's called rebalancing, and it can help you make a big difference for your future. Keeping your investments in harmony with your goals is kind of like keeping an engine in tune. Over time, engines need to be maintained, so we bring it into the shop, or if we're comfortable with our skills, we do the work ourselves. It's pretty much the same idea with investing. To keep your account in balance, that is, your mix of investments as you arrange them, you should rebalance or tune your portfolio on a regular basis. Of course, strictly rebalancing back to the percentages of your original mix of investments may not be the best thing for you now. Your situation may have changed. You may see new opportunities and be willing to assume more risk to hopefully earn a greater reward. On the other hand, you may be close enough to retirement that the risk of loss is becoming a bigger concern. That's a key benefit of rebalancing regularly, adjusting for change over time. Here's why you may want to consider regular rebalancing. Rebalancing gives you the opportunity to take a new look at all of the investment options in your portfolio. Rebalancing forces you to take profits from the investment options which have run up and put money in those that may have merit but haven't gone up. Rebalancing smooths investment returns. This is a good point to remember that account rebalancing, as a form of an asset allocation investment strategy, does not assure a profit or protect against loss in a declining market. After all, investing involves market risk. It's possible to lose money. While the Nationwide representatives cannot offer investment, tax, or legal advice, they can help you understand market risk and other risks you may face and strategies to deal with them, which is what we're doing right now, exploring rebalancing as a means for possibly reducing the effects of market risk. So how can you implement rebalancing in your account? There are 4 basic ways to rebalance your account. The do-it-yourself option puts you in complete control. You create your own mix of investments from the available options within the plan and manually rebalance on your own schedule. For those who want control over their investment mix but prefer to rebalance on a set schedule, we offer a free automatic rebalancing service. Your investment mix is automatically adjusted to your selected allocation every 3 months. The next 2 options, investor profile funds and time horizon or retirement date funds, both offer automatic rebalancing through asset allocation funds. These funds are pre-mixed with the goal of reducing risk while aiming to produce profit. Investor profile funds are based on comfort level with the market and risk, whereas retirement date funds are age-based. Finally, there's a professionally managed account. With this option, you pay a professional to select investments and manage your retirement plan account. There is a fee for this service, about 1% of your balance. Of course, even with professional management, there's no guarantee your objectives will be met. Remember, each of these choices has its own benefits, restrictions, and costs. Please consider your options carefully before making a decision. To learn more about options available to you, please contact your Nationwide representative. Neither Nationwide nor any of its representatives give legal or tax advice. Information provided by retirement specialists is for educational purposes only and is not intended as investment advice. Saving for retirement is a great thing, but as you invest into your retirement plan, knowing what kind of investor you are can help you make better decisions. For instance, it can help you choose different types of investments that fit with your personal goals. Let's explore how you can get to know your inner investor. We're going to talk about investing over the next few minutes. When you consider investing in any fund, carefully consider its investment objectives, risks, and charges and expenses. Fund prospectuses contain this and other important information. Read them carefully before investing. Deciding what kind of investor you may be could be thought of in terms of craving brownies for dessert. You could make brownies from scratch using all the ingredients from the cupboard, a do-it-yourself investor. You can buy a box mix, a help-me-do-it investor. Or you can buy brownies at the bakery, a do-it-for-me investor. The do-it-yourself investor is the person who wants to choose and manage their funds from the lineup available through the plan. They often use an asset allocation model to help them. We'll talk more about those models in a bit. The help-me-do-it person is more likely to choose a plan option like target date funds. They simply decide when they want to retire or begin taking income and choose the target date fund closest to their timeline. Their investments are pre-mixed and rebalanced automatically over time as they get nearer to the retirement date. Please note that target date funds use a strategy that reallocates equity exposure to a higher percentage of fixed investments over time. As a result, the funds become more conservative as the investor approaches retirement. Remember that no strategy can assure a profit or prevent a loss in a declining market. Furthermore, there is no guarantee against loss of principal at any time, even at the retirement date. Do-it-for-me investors may be those who don't have the time or motivation to manage their accounts and prefer a professional to do it. Not all plans offer a managed account option, but if you're a do-it-for-me investor, you may want to ask your Nationwide representative about it. Knowing your investor profile helps you invest your money in a variety of investments known as asset allocation or diversification. The right mix of investments is different for everyone, and the key to determining your investor profile and to finding a mix of investments that fit your individual goals is to know when you want to retire or plan to start spending the money, and how much market investment risk and market volatility you're comfortable with. Deciding when to retire helps figure out your time horizon. Time horizon is a fancy way of saying how long your money can stay invested before you need to withdraw it. Time always plays a big role in helping you get ready for retirement, and it plays an important role once you retire because when you begin making withdrawals, you have to know how long the money will last in your account. The amount of risk and market volatility you are comfortable with is known as your risk tolerance. It can change over time, so it's smart to review your situation every year with a plan representative. Whether you're a conservative investor or an aggressive investor, it all has to do with the comfort you have with market risk and the time you have to invest in the market. If one is comfortable with the normal ups and downs of the market and they have more than 10 years to invest, they typically can be more aggressive in the investments they choose. And vice versa, if someone is less than 10 years away from retiring, they'll likely tend to be more conservative in their investments. The three major investment types, stocks, bonds, and short-term investments, have categories called asset classes. Investments in the same asset class tend to behave similarly in the market. So while one class may decline in value, another may gain value. The chart you're looking at shows the potential risks and returns with each class. These models give you an idea of how to choose investments based on your investor profile. They can help you determine what percentage of your assets to put in each asset class. They're called asset allocation models. The use of asset allocation models or any form of asset allocation does not get rid of risk. For example, some of these models suggest investing in international funds, which involves risks not associated with investing solely in the U.S., such as currency fluctuation, political risk, differences in accounting, and limited availability of information. Small cap funds invest in stocks of small or emerging companies that may have less liquidity than those investing in larger, established companies and may be subject to greater price volatility and risk than the overall stock market. Short-term investments may not keep pace with inflation. The point is, while the use of asset allocation does not guarantee profits or insulate from potential losses in a declining market, it can help you manage risk. After all, the risk you assume for investing in an asset class is generally proportional to how much of the investment is placed in it. If you are a do-it-yourself kind of investor, these models can help you choose and manage your individual funds on your own. If you're a help-me-do-it investor or even a do-it-for-me investor, it helps to understand how your investments can be managed on your behalf. Talk with your Nationwide representative to learn how you can take 10 minutes to answer just a few questions to determine your specific investor profile. They use the Investor Profile Questionnaire to help you find out yours. And when you complete the questionnaire, you'll be able to identify whether you're aggressive, moderately aggressive, moderate, moderately conservative, or conservative. And whether you're a do-it-yourself, help-me-do-it, or do-it-for-me, your Nationwide representative can help make your retirement decisions easier. Investing in your future doesn't have to be overwhelming, and they'll help keep it simple. For more information about this topic, please contact your Nationwide representative. Neither Nationwide nor any of its representatives give legal or tax advice. Information provided by retirement specialists is for educational purposes only and is not intended as investment advice. How many retirement accounts do you have? Can you count them on one hand? Having more accounts means you have more to handle. One account means less hassle. That means one statement and less paperwork. That means one point of contact and one place to more easily manage all your accounts. Take your retirement assets, for example, pension and a retirement plan. And if you've had multiple employers in your life, you might have more than one retirement plan. A 457 here, a 401k there, and maybe even an IRA or 403b. It's smart to bring your money with you. If you keep your money in a local bank and you move away, wouldn't you move your money to a bank in your new town? When you move other assets into your nationwide plan, it'll help you manage all your investments in one place. Why is this important? Well, for several reasons. Your investment strategy can change over time. Your retirement goals today are most likely different than your investment strategy was 10 years ago. If you've left money in a former employer's 401k, you might not be actively managing that account, so the money that remains invested there might not match what your goals are today. Having multiple accounts doesn't always mean your investments are well balanced. You may be reviewing individual accounts at varying times and frequency. Having your money in one place allows you to consider your entire investment picture. By combining all of your retirement assets into your nationwide plan, your nationwide representative can provide education on how to diversify your investments based on your individual retirement goals. Understand your tolerance to market risk and take into consideration when you plan to retire. Please keep in mind taxes and fees may be incurred when transferring assets. Also, amounts rolled into the plan from another eligible retirement plan that are maintained in a separate rollover account may be distributed at any time upon request, and you may be subject to early withdrawal penalties. You can move your IRA, 401k, 403b, another 457, and other eligible money into your nationwide account. Nationwide helps thousands of people just like you consolidate their retirement assets into one, easier-to-manage account. That is just one reason to consolidate your retirement assets into your nationwide account: our experience. Nationwide is a leader in providing retirement plans to the public sector. We have more plans than any other provider. Your nationwide plan offers a variety of investment options to help you stay diversified and create a plan to keep you on track and help you achieve your goals. Nationwide is a large provider, and we offer competitive pricing that is frequently lower cost than other investment options. And Nationwide representatives are salaried employees who don't work on commission. Your Nationwide representative can also help keep track of all the rules that come along with all your assets. For example, if you retire before age 59 and a half, you're able to access your $457 because of the plan's unique distribution option. But with your 401k, you are still responsible to wait to access funds until age 59 and a half. Even when your money is housed within your deferred comp account, it doesn't mean you're no longer subject to rules that apply to specific types of retirement plans. The criteria and rules for transferring assets into your deferred comp account can be confusing, and that's what your Nationwide representative is there to help you with. It can be a lot to manage, but your Nationwide representative will help you understand it all. They will keep your planning as hassle-free as possible when you manage everything in one place. Keep in mind, however, that neither Nationwide nor any of its representatives give legal or tax advice. Another reason to consider combining your accounts is to get the help and service you need from your plan provider. That's why Nationwide gives you the resources and personal service to help you understand your retirement plan and your life in retirement. Not only can your Nationwide representative help simplify your life by managing assets in one place, but you'll get individual attention from local reps, as well as convenient call center hours anytime you have a question. You can manage your account when, where, and how you want with 24/7 access to your account, both online and by phone. And that help doesn't end when you leave your employer. Because you've worked hard to accumulate money for retirement, you need flexible options to make educated choices about your account once you're retired. Your Nationwide account is intended to serve as a supplemental income in retirement, so you have a variety of options when deciding what to do in retirement. For example, did you know you can leave your assets in the plan after you separate from your employer, giving them the chance to continue growing until you need them? Did you also know they grow tax deferred? And just think how much easier it could be to understand your distributions from one account versus multiple ones. Nationwide will review the many different options you have, providing you with information to help you choose the method that is right for you. When you stay in the plan, and even when you bring other money into it from other eligible assets, Nationwide also takes care of what the IRS calls a required minimum distribution, or RMD. The IRS requires that on the April 1st after you reach age 70 and a half, you must at least begin taking some of your money, and Nationwide will take care of calculating your RMD amount for you. RMD amounts must then be taken each year after that, and the payment is recalculated each year as your account balance and life expectancy change. Remember, investing involves risk, including possible loss of principal. Neither Nationwide nor any of its representatives give legal or tax advice. If you don't have help, generally speaking, the process of transferring your money can be challenging. Every company has their own processes and procedures to transfer and move assets, and that probably includes a special form from the other company who provides the retirement account you'd like to move into your deferred comp account. Your Nationwide representative has experience in helping participants do this because they have helped many people move other retirement dollars into Nationwide's deferred comp accounts. And your Nationwide representative has a lot of experience working with other companies to transfer money to make it a smoother experience for you. Here's how to combine your other accounts into your deferred comp plan. You'll complete a Nationwide rollover form. Then, your Nationwide representative will work with you and your other provider to complete any paperwork they may require. And finally, once your money is transferred, you'll begin receiving one statement that details all your accounts combined. Nationwide will help make it simpler. That's our On Your Side service. Please contact your Nationwide representative about combining your accounts and to know more about this topic. Assets rolled over from your accounts may be subject to surrender charges, other fees, and/or a 10% tax penalty if withdrawn before age 59 and a half. Neither Nationwide nor any of its representatives give legal or tax advice. Information provided by retirement specialists is for educational purposes only and is not intended as investment advice. You're already being smart about using deferred comp, but you probably need to be doing more for your future. According to recent research, 53% of American households are at risk of not being able to maintain their current standard of living in retirement. At some point, they'll likely have to cut their budgets to survive. Will your household be among them? Well, consider this. Most public employee pensions provide from 60% to 80% of final income at retirement. But the Department of Labor says figure on at least 80 to 90% of pre-retirement income to cover expenses in retirement. It doesn't take a lot of math to figure out there's a good chance that you may have a gap between what your pension provides and what retirement income you may need. So if you're not saving enough now, you may not be able to retire when you want to or the way you want to. But how? Saving doesn't always take a huge lifestyle change like downsizing your home or taking a second job. Sometimes it's the little changes that can make a big difference. The key to finding more money to invest for your retirement is knowing where to look. Coffee. Now don't panic. No one is suggesting that you go cold turkey on your caffeine fix. But what happens if you cut out one trip a day to the coffee shop? About $700 for the year. That's $700 that could be working for your future. Or maybe you discover the joys of free DVDs from your local library and stop going to the movie theater every week. That's $400 more for your retirement. Maybe you're thinking, I'm already putting away some money for my future. Why do I have to give up my daily double latte mocha? Well, you don't have to, but I have 3 words for you: inflation, healthcare, and longevity. Things likely will cost more in just a few years. The Department of Labor calculates that what cost $2.81 in 2012 will be priced at just $1 back in 1980. If it cost $10,000 in 1980, it likely costs more than $28,000 today. Think about what that could mean to your money 20 years from now. Fidelity Investments estimates that a 65-year-old couple retiring in 2012 would need about $240,000 in today's dollars to cover medical expenses throughout retirement, a 4% increase over what it projected in 2011. What are we getting for our healthcare money? We're living longer. The Census Bureau projects that the population age 85 and over could grow from 5.5 million in 2010 to 19 million by 2050. Some researchers predict death rates will decline even more rapidly, leading to faster growth of this population. Living past 100 is becoming more and more probable. Although it seems odd to say, living longer is a real risk, especially to your money. Let's take a look at what even a small increase can do. This is what happens when a 35-year-old invests just $50 more per pay. She could see an additional $105,948 in her account at retirement. And remember, because your plan is tax deferred, money goes into your deferred comp account before taxes come out of your check. So let's say you pay around 25% in income taxes. $75 from your take-home pay will actually put $100 toward your retirement. Not only that, but the more you invest in your retirement, the less gross income you'll be taxed during the year. Instead, your withdrawals, typically made in retirement, are taxed as ordinary income. When you increase what you're contributing, the impact to your paycheck might not cost you as much as you think, and you can feel even smarter about what you're doing to get financially ready. It all sounds good, but what if you don't have that much time before you want to retire? You need to play some catch-up. There are 2 options that can help you. The 50-plus catch-up option allows you to save as much as $5,500 over the current annual max of $17,500 for a total of $23,000 this year. Special catch-up allows you to contribute up to double the annual limit for 3 years to make up for the years that you may not have contributed the max. This year, that means you could save as much as $35,000. You can only use one of these catch-up options at a time, but both can help you invest even more during your last years of work. And your contributions are tax-deferred until withdrawal, when they are taxed as ordinary income. If you're ready to catch up, talk to your Nationwide representative to find out more details and if you're eligible to take advantage of the catch-up provisions. So remember, no matter what you're saving, you probably need to be saving more. Little changes in lifestyle can mean more money for your future, and it's not too late to get yourself back on track by taking advantage of our catch-up options. To find out how much you should be investing now to help meet your retirement goals in the future, please contact your Nationwide representative or log on to the plan's website to use the On Your Side Interactive Retirement Planner. Neither Nationwide nor any of its representatives give legal or tax advice. Information provided by retirement specialists is for educational purposes only and is not intended as investment advice.